morning. The title of our lesson 3 in Unit 6. How do you feel? After listening to the dialogues, let us put the pictures in order. You have the last picture. It is number 1. Picture letter B. It is number 2. Picture letter A. It is number 3. And the last picture C. It is number 4. Now, match the advice to the person with the problem. Do don't mention. Do don't match. You have A. You should see the doctor to make sure you haven't broken it. Match picture with A. You have letter E. You shouldn't walk on it. Match with picture B. D. You could take some aspirin. It might help. Match picture D. And the last one, letter F. You could try using after sun cream. You can match this with letter C. Now, let us explain modal verbs. In this lesson, you will learn how to use modal verbs properly. First of all, we use should, shouldn't, should or shouldn't, could or ought to. First of all, why we use modal verbs? We use these verbs to give advice. This is something very important, to give advice. For example, she should wash her car. This is advice for her to wash her car. This is affirmative. You can change this to negative by put not. She shouldn't wash her car. And when you change this to question, you put should at the beginning of the sentence. Should she wash her car? For another example, he could try these pills. You ought to follow the traffic rules. So, what is the form? The form is subject plus should, could, or ought to, plus infinitive. You have not. The negative of ought to is not common. We usually use shouldn't, but I'll give you example about the negative of ought to. The example is, you ought not to have said that about your mother. And there's another note. Could is not as strong as should or ought to. Thank you so much.